as we now talk about Ron Jeremy. Now, some may know Ron Jeremy as a pornographic actor in many films. Now he's being charged with not just one, but 17 different victims came forward on different sex charges. He is facing these charges that span from the somewhat minor sexual charges all the way up to the very, very serious ones. These allegations, he pled not guilty in June to allegations that he raped 3 women and sexually assaulted another in a separate attack, going back as far as 2014. On Monday, when he was arraigned, he was looking at just a few charges, but at that arraignment on Monday, 20 more additional rape and other sexual assault charges involving 12 more women, meaning he went from 5 alleged victims to 17 in a single day. The prosecutor added more on. Judge Birmingham, what do you make of these? I mean, the new ones that go back from 2014, but this looks like another Harvey Weinstein-esque case, another Ghislaine Maxwell type case where these allegations, the earliest one, are going back from 2004, and the number of alleged victims seem to keep growing by the day.
It's going to present some tremendous problems for the defense, you know, because of the number of victims. If there's commonalities in the way that these crimes were committed, if there's commonalities in where they were committed, you know, those types of things. You know, the law disfavors, you know, trying more than one crime at a time, you know, basically. And so when you have a number of victims like this, then it just opens the door for the potential to have more than one crime tried in the same trial, which is, you know, usually never very good for the defense. So it'll be interesting to see how these cases develop and whether or not these extraneous crimes are going to be used against Mr. Jeremy.
Yeah, just a few other facts to throw out, Hunter, before I get your analysis. If convicted of all accounts, he could face up to 250 years in prison. He's currently in on bail, on $6.6 million. Doesn't seem like he's going anywhere anytime soon. And the range for the age of the victims go anywhere from 15 to 54 years, where a teen was assaulted at a party that she attended in Santa Clara. I think, Hunter, as a trial attorney, it's going to really come down to character evidence and also MO. I'm expecting that these women are probably going to testify to similar events of being either sexually assaulted or raped. What are your thoughts? All right. Judge, so we're going to take a quick second from Hunter. Judge, same thoughts. As we hear like the countless numbers, the similar charges, I don't know. Am I just, is it just that Harvey Weinstein is just picking up in my brain so much more because we just saw that? What do you think of the way this case might be tried, Your Honor?
Well, there's going to be the named victim in the trial, the named victim in the indictment, and the way these things usually play out is that you have evidence put forward about what happened, and then you use the extraneous conduct not to show that, well, he did it in other cases, therefore he did it in these cases, but basically, there's similar circumstances, there's similar ways. You said MO, modus operandi. If you have some unique characteristics that are created or are used to commit the crime that is indicted, well, then those other extraneous crimes can be used against him. And especially when you talk about sexual assault, usually what happens is they fight the identity. Well, I didn't do it. Okay, well, I did it, but it was consensual. Now, that's going to be tricky for him, especially when you start talking about with a 15 or an underage person. Consent doesn't really even matter. So prosecutor has a lot of power to see which case they're going to go through first. They'll probably make that decision based on what they think will allow them to get the most evidence in during that trial.
Yeah. Now, some of these charges go back pretty far, Your Honor. I know that in the past, with the Harvey Weinstein trial, for example, the statute of limitation issues came up. I think Hunter, let me go to you and field this question. Taking the entirety of this case, the allegations, the age of the victims, the potential for there to be some very damning character evidence against Ron Jeremy, how do you think this trial could play out?
Well, first of all, I think it's an interesting case in the sense that you have the defense making statements publicly already that he is a porn star. He's in the Guinness Book of World Records, I believe, for having been in so many. He would never, someone like him doesn't have to do this. This is an absurd defense. If they go into the courtroom with this, it falls flat. We're dealing with ages of 15 and up. If there's any type of trafficking claim alleged for those 15-year-olds, there is no statute of limitations. He is going to have to hear each one of these victims appear in court and lay the story out regarding the various assaults. And from what the prosecution has been saying, some of these are pretty egregious, outrageous situations, both in public and in private places. His trial is going to be an uphill battle for the defense.
Yes. And with 250 years of jail time on the line, because the assumption is, and it's a pretty safe assumption, if he was found guilty, these charges would be run consecutively rather than congruently. That's why that timeline spreads out so far. It's something the defense is really going to have to work hard for to try to sow any reasonable doubt into any of these cases. But we'll make sure to keep track of that as that case continues here at the Law and Crime Trial Network. But before that, we're going to take a quick break and come back to more here.